Welcome to the Scurv podcast. I'm your host, LanceScurvX. You know, I had a really comical day today. I couldn't help but laugh all day. Everything made me laugh. Everything was funny. And that lets me know that emotionally, mentally, spiritually, I'm topped off. You know when you go to the gas tank to fill it up with gas at the gas station, and you can't help but, once it fills up, to keep on trying to fill it up a little more. I don't know what that is. And people tell you, well, that's bad to do. But it's such a good feeling to have a full tank and top it off. And with all that I've been doing as far as enjoying the solitude, meditating, eating light, but eating good, getting sunlight, I'm topped off. And I've been speaking to some old buddies of mine. And even though I'm so far away in Ghana, West Africa, it's like we're still here from the memories. So many memories, so many stories. And they might be a little busy, but I'm going to make a separate series and just empty it all out. You know, over the years, I've always been a truth teller and one who wants to defend the voiceless in a very serious manner. But there's a comedian inside of me that maybe some of you know, some of you don't know, but I can't take it no more. I've got to have another little series where I can tell some really funny stories that'll bring some light to your day. Some of them funny, light, some of them are adult. I was thinking about making a whole new channel. So I'm going to ask you all this before I even talk about what I want to talk about right now. Do I keep everything on this one channel, or do I make a separate channel for that other branch on my tree, which is me, but it's that side of me, that persona? And to move into things, the title of today's segment is What Happens When You Hit Rock Bottom? What happens when you hit rock bottom? Why the strongest people fear nothing anymore. And that's true, because there's so many of us who have hit rock bottom, and whatever that may mean for you, because many of us have a different tolerance level to what we may consider the bottom. Some of us are tougher, more resilient. Some of us cry so fast at the slightest bit of a rough time in our life, which I'm not knocking those. So it's all relative, but the concept is the same. The most dangerous person you will ever meet is the one who healed alone. Not dangerous in a violent way. Not dangerous because they want to hurt someone. Dangerous because they rebuilt themselves without help. They crawled out of a dark place without applause, without support, and without a hand to pull them up. When you hit rock bottom and had nobody to call, something changes inside of you. When you cried yourself to sleep and wiped your own tears, something hardened. When you realized the people you thought would stay walked away without looking back, something clicked. You stopped begging. You stopped explaining. You stopped chasing. The world fears people like that. Why? Because they cannot be controlled. They are not impressed by titles. They are not moved by threats. They are not shaken by rejection. They've already survived worse than you can silence. They've already felt deeper pain than your disrespect. This kind of person does not walk around angry. That's the mistake people make. They walk around clear. Clear about who they are. Clear about what they will accept. Clear about what they will never tolerate again. Clarity makes weak people uncomfortable. And let me tell you something straight. When a person has rebuilt themselves alone, your opinion no longer carries weight. You can't shame someone who already faced their worst mistakes. You cannot embarrass someone who already saw themselves broken and decided to rise anyway. Rock bottom is a brutal teacher. It strips away illusions. It shows you who is real and who is just using your light. I'm going to say it again. It shows you who is real and who is just using your light. You can tell this is personal for me. It forces you to look in the mirror without filters. Most people run from that mirror. The dangerous one stared at it. When you sit alone with your failures, your trauma, your regrets, and your bad choices, and you don't numb it with distractions, you grow. It's a painful growth. It's ugly growth, but it's real growth. And real growth builds unshakable confidence. People who healed alone do not fear abandonment. They've already been left. They know the sting of silence. They know the sound of promises breaking. And guess what? They survived it. So threatening to leave them doesn't scare them. It frees them. They don't chase anyone. Not because they're cold, not because they don't care, but because they understand that what is meant to stay will stay. They're not desperate for attention. They're not starving for approval. They validated themselves when no one else would. You cannot manipulate someone who has already faced their demons alone. Manipulation works on fear. It works on insecurity. It works on people who doubt their worth. But when someone has sat in the darkness and still chose themselves, your tricks don't land. Loneliness breaks most people. They panic in silence. They rush into relationships just to avoid being alone with their thoughts. They settle for disrespect just to have company. That is how people stay trapped. But the one who healed alone made peace with loneliness. They stopped seeing it as punishment. They started seeing it as protection. They realized solitude is where strength is built. In silence, they found their voice. You cannot threaten someone with loneliness when they learn to enjoy their own company. You cannot scare someone with isolation when they already built a life from the ground up by themselves. They know they can survive without you. And that scares people who rely on control. Because control only works when someone is afraid of losing you. But if they already survived losing everything, what power do you really have over them? This is why the healed, alone person walks differently, talks differently, moves different. They are calm because they know storms. They're patient because they endured chaos. They're quiet because they already fought their loudest battles internally. You can't break someone who already broke and rebuilt themselves. That is a truth most people do not understand. When you shatter and choose to gather your own pieces, you stop fearing damage. Rebuilding yourself alone means you stop blaming everyone else. You took responsibility for your healing. You did not wait for apologies. You did not wait for closure. You closed doors yourself. That level of self-accountability creates power. Real power. Not loud power. Not fake confidence. Quiet power. The kind that does not need to announce itself. When someone healed alone, they know their value because they saw themselves at their worst and still decided they were worth saving. That kind of self-belief cannot be bought. It cannot be given. It is earned through pain. So yes, they are dangerous. Dangerous to toxic systems. Dangerous to manipulative relationships. Dangerous to anyone who thrives on insecurity. But they're safe for the right people. They are loyal to those who respect them. They are loving to those who show up honestly. If you are the one who healed alone, understand this clearly. You're not cold. You're not bitter. You're not heartless. You're disciplined. You're aware. You're awake. Do not shrink yourself to make others comfortable. Do not pretend to be confused when you are clear. Do not apologize for having standards after you rebuilt yourself from nothing. The world may call you distant. Let them. The world may call you intimidating. Let them. That simply means you are no longer easy to control. Keep your peace. Protect your energy. Guard your growth. Because it costs you too much to become this version of yourself. And to those watching someone like this, understand something. You cannot threaten, manipulate, or scare someone who already faced their worst nightmare alone and survived it. Respect them or step aside. Trust me, I personally speak from experience on this topic, and I'm the mightiest version of myself that I've ever been, and I'm loving it. Anyway, we're going to keep this short. Let me know if these words resonated with you, because I can talk about this particular subject all night long. Much love to you all. Thank you for being here. LanceScurv out. Peace.